So in this video, I'm gonna go over 4 tips on how you can get your child to stop throwing toys and start playing with them. So my first tip is for you to visually model how to play with the toy before giving it to them. So for example, with this piggy toy here, this piggy bank toy, what you'll want to do is show them how to use the toy while narrating the specific actions that you're doing as you're doing it. So, open, grab coin, put in, push, close. Your turn. And that way the child will know exactly how they're supposed to play with the toy and then be reinforced with the added language that you also provided them, which was you narrating the action as you were doing it. And so my second tip is for you to interact with the toy or engage with the activity, even if they're not engaging with that toy or that activity at that time. So for example, if your child, every time that you give them crayons, is throwing them and therefore not learning the skills of coloring, scribbling, writing, pre-writing, etc., what I would suggest for this tip is for you to spend more time coloring, writing, drawing, so that way you show them that this is a meaningful activity, that this activity has a lot of value for our time and our attention, and it will prompt them to want to spend more time with that activity itself. And that's what research has shown us. Research has shown us that the longer a caregiver attends to a toy before handing it to a child, the more likely the child will play with that activity or that toy for a longer period of time. So again, the more frequent you model how to do this, even if they're not wanting to play with that toy or engaging with the toy at that time, means that they will be more interested in the toy and how to engage with it. And so my third tip is to ignore the throwing behavior and instead redirect it. So if, for example, with the piggy bank toy, your child is constantly throwing the coins and not interacting with the toy itself, what you'll want to do is not tell them stop throwing or don't do that. Instead, take one of the coins and then put it in and show them how they're supposed to engage with it, and be very animated while you're doing so. Or if it's an item that they're throwing and you just want them to transition to a different activity, then start engaging with the other activity, again being really animated about that. And so my fourth tip is that you should praise your child when they actually engage with the activity as it's intended versus throwing it. And that's because you want them to continue with that behavior. So for example, if your child does end up taking one of the coins and instead of throwing it, they just put it on top, maybe they don't even push it in, praise them for that. Say, good putting it in, yay! With the idea that they're going to continue to want that kind of attention from you, so they're going to continue to do that behavior in order to get that kind of attention from you. So those are my 4 tips on how to get your child to stop throwing toys and start playing with them. Thanks for watching.